And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. Romans 8, verse 28. Sometimes the promise contained in this verse is difficult to trust. Like, for instance, when you're traveling and your flight gets canceled on the way out and on the way back. So what do you do when your plans are disrupted and it's difficult to clearly see the hand of God as events unfold? Just as a disclaimer, I may or may not have done all these steps this past weekend, but I do believe they are solid, godly counsel. Step 1 is to pray. The Bible tells us that we are to pray in all circumstances. So when your itinerary begins to implode, that definitely fits into the category of all circumstances. You can pray that God will provide a solution, for wisdom as to what to do, or for patience in the midst of the inconvenience. You could even claim the promise that God has given us in Romans 8:28. Step 2 is to control the controllables. There are things that you can control, like booking an alternate flight and or getting a rental car, and there are things that you can't control, like willing a canceled flight into being a non-canceled flight. Consider every possible workaround that you can, but don't spend time being upset about those things that you just can't change. Step 3 is to keep everything in perspective. If you are going to a big event to support someone in their time of celebration, then if you have done everything in your power to get there and you still come up short, just by giving it your maximum effort, you have communicated your love and support even if you don't make it to the event. The other way to fight for perspective is to say, if this is the worst thing that happens to me this year, I'm going to have a pretty good year. There's an old saying that goes, all's well that ends well. In our situation, with a bit of prayer and determination, we did make it to the big celebration at Kings Point, New York, that we were scheduled to be at. Perhaps St. Paul had Southwest and American Airlines in mind when he said something like, do not say, I will go here or I will go there, but instead say, if the Lord wills, I will go here or I will go there. James 4:13 through 15. Press on in the Lord.